Pretty Little Liars, the TV show, sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provided a list of content warnings in the episode description.
Welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we are coming at you with the season finale of season 1 of Pretty Little Liars.
It all comes down to this.
Except we really don't get a lot of answers, do you?
I mean, they give you enough breadcrumbs to make it feel impactful.
There's a lot of plot in this episode.
But there's a lot, yeah, exactly. There's a lot dangling. I mean, I was right about Ian. And, oh boy. Really?
But you were also wrong about Ian.
Exactly. I was really wrong about so many other things. I swung for the fences and I...
You took the obvious, which was you were like, well, Ezra must be going to jail for being a child predator. Turns out that's not the case, baby.
No. Garrett, completely surprised. I thought he was just going to be a regular an annoying police figure. Not the case. We don't know the full extent of what he's doing. But I mean, he's up to some shit.
He's up to some shit, and he's in cahoots with Jenna.
Uh-huh.
He's in cahoots.
Yeah. So he's the one that I've been like, oh, she's talking to A. She's talking to A. It's like, oh no, she's talking to Garrett.
How old is Garrett?
Unconfirmed. Yeah, that's a good question.
How old is Jenna?
Okay, so they're
17,
16,
maybe?
Right?
Do you think she's a year older?
That's what you keep saying.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go with
think so too. But I have nothing.
So if they're, I would say, yeah, it's 17, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's probably the same age-ish as Fitz, or even a year or two younger, right? Because you can become a police officer earlier.
Very little.
And he was, well, I guess we don't get that he was in any classes with any of the siblings, the older siblings. We just get that he lived down the street from Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Yeah, I assume he's the Jason Ian age.
Right. So so they graduated college or senior year college sort of thing. So say 22-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, big Garrett reveal.
Big Garrett reveal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was listening back to our podcast for the week before, and it's like, oh boy, it's not right about many things.
You weren't right about. I mean, it's fine though. We were really distracted by Ian and the glass of milk.
Yes, extremely.
It was the best red herring they could give us.
Mm-hmm. And also, just Garrett wasn't on my radar at all. And then, as it was the episode was proceeding, it's like, oh, this is of course, he's just a person that you wouldn't suspect, so you could bring him in.
I would say no one's random, but then I'm pretty sure the man who's the scam artist nephew of the woman, I don't think we ever see him again. Right? So there are people who are random, but Garrett was not. Garrett's not one of them.
Mm-mm. No, yeah, not those types of characters.
What do you think's gonna happen with Garrett? We can get into this later, but I just now that he's gone. Potentially not good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's corrupt at best.
So, I mean, I think he did see Arya for sure. Outside, I know that was one of the things we talked about last time. Was whether he did see Arya. I think he did see Arya, and he's just okay, catalog, I can use this as a later time, and that he is gonna be being more hands-on of hey, I'm your friend, I'm your buddy, so you can get information and try and control them. Yeah. And Emily's gonna find out.
You think Emily's gonna figure it out?
She's gonna be the one.
I like it. Okay. Well, it's too bad you weren't in the writer's room anyway. Moving on.
I see. Well, I only have one recap for today, so I get to take it easy.
You get to take it easy. And then you have to walk us through your timeline of the night Alison died. You made us a presentation.
I have a presentation. And everybody, I will let you know before, graphic design is my passion. So just keep that in mind on the white background slides.
Graphic design is my passion.
But first, Episode 22, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Oh, but I was thinking of the presentation, we could go through your questions, per the usual. And I can, when we step into theory corner, I could present.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then we can wrap up and talk about, season 2.
What you think's going to happen next.
Yeah. And then, we should actually talk about what I think is going to happen next. And then we'll watch the promo for season 2. And I could be like, who are these people? Well, we'll see. All right. Episode 22, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Open on Emily's room as the friends all watch the videos on the flash drive. There's an upsetting video of Jenna trying to hook up with Toby as he resists, and Jenna says she can tell their parents that he forced himself on her and he doesn't know who he's messing with. And Spencer goes turn it off, so they turn off the video. Arya freaks out over the implications of them being filmed, and Hannah asks if someone was getting off on it. Spencer says we know if they were, we know who likes younger girls. And Spencer says they can use the USB to see who killed Alison. Allergies a little bit. Apologies. Spencer says we can find out what Jenna knows because she was looking for this USB too, and she wants the video. We don't have to be afraid of Jenna anymore because we have something that she wants, and Alison gave it to us. Byron...
You snip after each statement. The ASMR on this video. Good God.
Why did they move for the sake of the podcast? Byron and Ella sync with each other over parenting. Byron asks Ella to come to the faculty mixer that's going to be at the house that night, and she declines, saying what would we be telling people as a couple? And he's dismisses her reservations about this and says it's just a dinner, Ella. Arya then comes downstairs and offers help to her father for the night, oh, I'm happy to do that, and then talks to her mom about overhearing the conversation when Byron leaves. Arya then receives multiple texts from Fitz, one that says, we need to talk, followed by another one that says, a cop was here, as Ella keeps talking to Arya. And then Arya, visually distressed, then decides that she needs to take it out on her mom and tells her, hey, figure it out whether you want to be with dad or not, or otherwise leave the hell alone. Jesus. Hannah comes sadly downstairs to collect things for cocooning in her room. Ashley says, hey, I tried that too when I was sad about your father, but you need to get out and you need to get out the door and whatever it takes, and just think of it as me pushing you out and getting you to school. Ashley then asks Hannah about Caleb's letter. Hannah's surprised. She's there was no letter. And Ashley's what do you mean? He came by the house and said he had a letter to give you. And Hannah's he didn't give me anything. He just got on a bus and left. And Ashley's that doesn't sound like Caleb.
That boy that I love so much.
Yeah.
Now that he's gone.
I know, totally. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And Hannah says he looked at me dead in the eyes and left. Ian and Melissa talk to each other. And they're using baby parenting talks, and Melissa calls him daddy, and it's just yeah.
But it's they're talking about from the baby,
right.
Herman calls you dad all the time.
Okay, so it's not in that sense. It's okay, and then the baby will be helpful for that daddy, and it's I don't like this.
You just don't like Ian.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you were she called him daddy. And I was well, she didn't call him daddy. It's two very different implications you have going on here.
I feel for Spencer. Spencer asks about their conversation. And Melissa says, well, we're actually planning a christening. Spencer then makes a joke about the baby not being human. And Melissa gets angry and leaves. Mrs. Hastings, ever on Melissa's side, says, that was cruel, and you need to apologize to your sister. Oh, Mrs. Hastings, you're not going to be so happy when it turns out that Ian tries to kill your daughter. Emily looks at her emails from Samara until her mom knocks on the door and she closes all her tabs. Pam says, hey, heard from your father. To which, out of nowhere, I exclaimed, "Is Wayne dead?"
Brenton had a moment. Like, he was like, "Oh my God, did Wayne die?" And I'm like looking at him like, "What the fuck? Why do you care?"
Surprised the hell out of me. And then Pam, you, as if addressing me, goes, "Your father's okay." Ooh, okay.
I was like, "What?"
We can talk now. Thank you, Pam.
But like, also, like, you didn't react to like Paige drowning Emily. You had no reaction. You didn't react to the halo shower scene, really, other than like a little eyebrow raise. You kind of did get the slap, the Jenna slap. I missed that one. That one's on me. We all got a. It's great. It's great. It's a great slap. Yeah. But I'm kind of glad we got it more
I thought she was just
authentic.
gonna give her a dressing down, and then bam, fucking hits her.
But I didn't think to record you at this reveal because one, Emily going to Texas is like a really lame plot point to me. But two, like, I didn't think you'd think Wayne died.
What?
How'd he die in Texas?
I expect drownings. I expect murder. But Wayne, the death of a military man.
Lock a girl in a funhouse, totally fine. But Wayne.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But Pam then explains to me, and I get upset for a whole new reason. I don't want to move my family to Texas. Pam says Wayne wants them all to go to Texas for a year while he's on assignment. And Pam says it's a fresh start. And Emily's like, I don't need one. I just got a fresh start. Like, I'm out in my town, and I finally feel like normal, and then I like fit in. And Pam says, well, you belong with your family.
Yeah, you're 16. You belong with your family. And I'm like, at 16, you don't.
No, you gotta spend. You're gonna be spending a lot of time not with your family. Aria sees Fitz in the school hall, and like she stops him, like, "Hey, like what's up?" And he's like, "I gave my resignation
Brenton
because
goes,
I'm going to Hollis." Yeah, like why would you do this? And then Arya hits him, fair. And Fitz like, oh, sorry about the text. Yeah, there was like a cop that came to my door, and he was like asking about like Spencer and the props. Who cares? But I'm not going to be your teacher anymore, and we could be a public couple now. And he's like, hey, I'm going to be at your dad's faculty mixer tonight, and maybe I'll see you there. And Arya's like, I'll show you my room.
No.
Yeah. Nope.
I do like the inside of the Montgomery's house, though.
It's a beautiful house. I do like their house.
It's one of my favorites.
It's probably my favorite house out of all the...
It's really unique.
Yeah. We didn't rank houses, but there you go. There's a house ranking for you. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I do love Spencer's kitchen.
Yeah.
That kitchen sitting area.
And they have they even have like a little house in the back, a beautiful backyard. Yeah.
You mean the one Spencer redid?
Number 2. Yeah. And her sister moved in. I had forgotten about that it was
That's how we started, baby. That's how we got Ren.
Yeah. Oh. Where is he? Back in London.
Wasn't he just in Philadelphia?
Yes, he was. Okay. No more of that. On to Mona comforts Hannah and says, oh, it's just romantic. You dated your first poor boy. And I'm like, thank you. Finally, someone says it when it's beneath the surface, dear. Hannah says she feels more stupid and is more mad at herself for thinking that he loved her. Mona kisses her on the cheek and says, I'm sorry. Hannah leaves and Lucas stares.
You missed...
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Mona leaves.
But so when Mona's talking to her, because Hannah's like, yeah, my mom said something about a note, but there wasn't one. And Mona's like, well, would it change anything if there was one?
Oh, thank you.
And Mona answers it for her, which is very, I think, important for obviously what we know happened.
Right. So she ripped it up.
And because Lucas overhears that, and that's kind of how he starts to be like...
Right. Which, okay. But
we
need
a hero.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't want Lucas to be the hero?
No, I mean, I guess he's being a hero. It's just kind of like, what business is this of yours?
He wants Hannah to be happy.
Yeah, that's true. But Mona then leaves, and Lucas is staring at Hannah down from the lockers. Hannah asks, like, are you going to be mad at me forever? And he says, probably, and leaves.
Yeah.
Jenna walks down the hall as the friends all stare. They all look at each other and follow her. They all greet her in the music room as she's alone. Spencer introduces herself first, and then Jenna asks who else is there, and then all the rest are like, Aria and Hannah and Emily.
Yeah, Spencer lists them all.
Uh-huh.
Hannah's last.
And then Spencer says, we found what you were looking for. Jenna asks if they've seen it, and Spencer says, every frame. Jenna asks what they want, and Hannah says, the truth. Can you handle that? Jenna then tells them that she was telling the truth, that Allie did visit her at the hospital the day before she went missing. She had just got back from Georgia and had gotten the video and couldn't wait to play it for Jenna. We then get a flashback. Allie plays the video for Jenna. Jenna asks where she got it, and Allie says, the guy I likes to make movies. And she says the boy next door gets off on all the girls next door. Allie says she's keeping it under lock and key and it'll stay there if you play along, and Jenna agrees. Allie says she knew she would agree with her way of thinking, and says if she ever comes back to Rosewood, she'll bury her. Present. Spencer asks if Allie was on her way home from Georgia, and Jenna says that's what she said. Jenna says she gave them what she asked for. Now what do I get? Spencer says the video will stay in a safe place. Jenna leaves and says, we all make mistakes, and I'm still paying for yours. Jenna leaves, and the friends then all conference. Aria says, we don't know how Allie got the video. Spencer says she definitely got it from Ian, and Allie felt so excited because she had won over on Jenna. Emily mentions that when she came back in the taxi, she kept saying, wait for it. Aria says Jenna came back because Allie was dead, and so she could come back. Spencer arrives at a lunch table with a prepaid phone to call Ian, and tells all the friends that this is going to be untraceable. He won't be able to follow it back to us. Aria sees Ian across the lunchroom and gets angry that he just acts so calm and collected all the time. Spencer then goes to text Ian. And then Hannah encourages her to finally send the text that says, I have Allie's video. And it's all part of a plan to be able to entrap him. They see Ian look at his phone and then leave. And the friends all feel weird seeing him like that. And they all feel weird with the knowledge that he is somehow connected to this or is somehow rattled by it. And that they thought finding out the truth in the person would make them all feel better. Hannah comforts them by saying she knows what happens to guys like him in prison. Spencer receives a text back asking what they want. Hannah grabs the phone immediately and tells him to bring $10K to Willow Park at 9 p.m. Mona arrives at the table, and then the friends all disperse, including Hannah. Mona's mad, but then sees Hannah's phone was left on the table, and as she grabs it, Caleb's calling, so she picks up the phone. As you would suspect, she says, I handed Hannah the note and Caleb needs to move on. She's done with you. So bye-bye. Lose this number. See you later, Caleb. Up yours.
Later,
and then
skaters.
hangs up the phone. Lucas then appears behind Mona with a weird look and pesters Mona about Hannah never getting the letter. She never saw that, did you? You never gave it to her. And Mona says, I didn't give her the letter because Caleb hurt her. And Mona even starts to kind of apologize for being mean to Lucas and making fun of him, and then proceeds to offer a makeover to him. And it's just act fast, Lucas.
I could make you cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a he's all that. Jenna receives a phone call in her bedroom, and she says over the phone, they found the video, and they've seen it. We then cut to Ian, also on a phone call, saying, I'm taking care of it, and I'll be there soon.
And Brenton goes, yes, of course.
Uh-huh.
They're working together.
Eureka! I was right.
You were so proud of yourself, too,
right. Mm-hmm.
in that moment. And I was like, oh, no.
You're like,
and I was like, Emily, keep your mouth shut. Emily, keep your mouth shut.
Emily is interrupted by Garrett. The other side of the phone call. But Emily asks if she's being watched also, and he's like, no, I'm off duty. It was movie night at my house. They're Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, they're watching Dancing with the Stars. Garrett
says he's on their side, and he knows Spencer wouldn't have done anything to hurt Alison, and he's like, hey, Emily, if you need anything, here's my cell number. Emily walks back to her house and sees Hannah sitting out front. Emily says, hey, I ran into Lucas in the parking lot, and hands her phone. Hannah then asks how things have gotten so screwed up, and then it sucks that like Pam is packing up the boxes in their house. Hannah and Emily talk about Texas, and like I think Emily mentions that it's all like beauty queen country or something, and Hannah's like, "Oh, are you interested in beauty queens?" And Emily's like, "That's not my type." And Hannah's like, "Oh, you have a type?" Eternally fascinated by Emily's queerness.
Hannah is a supportive friend who is like, if I'm obsessed with romance on my end, you're obsessed with romance on your end, so I will cater to you.
Exactly.
Which I respect.
Mm-hmm.
Get it, girl.
Spencer and Toby study together in their room. Well, he's reading a book and she's studying, and they stare at each other across the room.
Isn't he reading a Jack Kerouac book?
Yes, yeah, we ended up looking it up. And Toby asks if this is how she wanted to spend her day. Spencer's like, "I like having you here." Toby asks if it's because she's making a statement to her family, and Spencer says, "No, I just like having you here." Toby asks if she wants to talk about the plan for tonight, and she's like, "No, I really don't want to." Toby then turns the seat in her room around to look out over the open window and invites her over to join him on the chair, and they cuddle.
Spencer goes sleep.
Yeah, she does go sleep.
Me too. Brenton said, "What if I turn the chair around in our living room and
it's like
offers
double the size?
It's
so
like double
heavy.
the size, and it's so heavy. It's heavier than our couch." And I was like, "I dare you. Turn that chair around."
Hurts his back.
Our downstairs neighbors will complain.
Help me, put me in the chair.
Just be angled at a weird angle because we can't move it.
Jenna talks to an unseen person in a room, talking about Allie taunting her from beyond the grave. The camera then pans, and it turns out it's Garrett. I was wrong. Garrett says he won't let the video get out. Jenna asks him to promise, and he says, "I promise." He takes off her glasses and kisses her. The faculty mixer is off to a roaring start. Aria sees Fitz across the room, mingling, and they smile at each other knowingly. Aria answers the door to none other than Jackie from Fitz's online profile.
His website
profile. And she's like, and Aria just says, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, I'm here because I'm a teacher at Hollis. This is a faculty mixer, right?" Aria turns around and just leaves her hanging. Fitz walks over and like looks right to see where Aria went, and then turns around to see Jackie. Spencer sleeps as Toby reads. Spencer gets a text from Melissa that wakes her up, and it says that Ian didn't show up at the church and needs a ride home. Toby says, "Hey, okay, well, like, I'll go with your plan of keeping Jenna busy tonight, but if there's anything you need, I'll be there." Spencer says, "I love knowing that." We all do.
Mm-hmm. He's a safe place to land.
Yeah.
Is Toby a safe place to land for you?
Very much so. I would fall asleep sitting in the chair with him.
Would you fall asleep in his arms?
Yes, I would. You read your stories, I take a nap. Aria, or classic American literature.
Read about being a sad white boy, why don't you?
Pretty much. Aria's in her room collecting her things as Fitz walks in. Aria says, "What were you thinking? Why would you keep that from me?" And Fitz is like, "Well, she's not a part of my life anymore." And Aria says she's downstairs. She's in my downstairs having wine with my dad. Fitz is like, "I screwed up, okay?" And Aria says, "Until today, you were the one guy that never lied to me," and leaves.
Yeah, because he lied by omission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty big one, especially when there's going to be a faculty mixer at the house.
Yeah, at her house?
Even if he wasn't there, like, she could just, like, appear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, she was a TA last time I saw her at Hollis."
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
and I always forget that, like, they went to, like, the college so close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fitz is really like a hometown boy, or maybe he moved to Hollis and then stayed in that area.
Right. Really like the area.
Yeah.
Hannah.
He really likes murder.
Exactly. What's not to love about Rosewood?
Isn't it weird that he's stuck around in Rosewood?
Mm-hmm.
Is that suspicious to you?
A little bit. A little bit. Adjusting my spectacles and adjusting my hat.
Yeah, and where was he when Allie died? Was he at Hollis?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Who is Fitz, if that is your real name? I don't know why I'd lie. Hannah sits sadly on her stairs and thinks about deleting Caleb's contact. She hesitates and then does and cries. We all do. Cut to Caleb in the car with Cut to Caleb in the car with Lucas.
Boys
Caleb
trip.
Exactly. Caleb asks why he's doing this, and Lucas says Hannah deserves to be happy. Yeah, all right.
She does.
She does.
Thank you, Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Spencer and Melissa are in the car. Melissa says something's wrong with Ian. He didn't show up. Like, he's not responding. Like, this is totally out of character. Something's wrong. Spencer says, hey, just relax. It'll be okay. Melissa's like, wow, that's like spoken like a sister who actually cares. Spencer says she does. And Melissa's like, I wish I could believe you. And then Spencer's like, well, Melissa had mentioned that she had forgotten her phone. Spencer's like, should we turn back around and go toward the church? And as she says that, a car suddenly appears like out of their like right side and T-bones them. We then cut to Aria, Hannah, and Emily in the woods trying to call her. Aria says if she's not there in 10 minutes, we call the cops. Cut to Mrs. Hastings entering the hospital, and we see that Spencer is okay. Spencer greets her mom and says Melissa is stable, but they're concerned about the baby. Aria receives a text from A. Buckle up, bitches. Nothing is as it seems. Emily asks if A knows they're here, and Hannah says A knows everything. Mrs. Hastings and Spencer talk over Melissa in her hospital bed. Mrs. Hastings mentions they should find Ian. Spencer offers to go look for her phone and Ian at the church. And as she goes, a cop stops her with her purse from the car and hands it to her. And Spencer sees Aria's text. And then as she walks out, she goes to call someone. Cut to the friends in the woods, and Aria says Spencer should stay, and Aria's talking to Spencer on the phone. She tells us she should stay with Melissa. No worry, we got this covered. Car pulls up, and it turns out it's Garrett. Emily's like, oh, thank you for coming. We're glad you're here. Thank you for coming, and he says, I'm glad you called.
I'm sure he is.
Uh-huh.
I wonder why.
Exactly. Garrett says, no one else knows you're here, right? And Hannah's like, I left a note for my mom in case something happens. And Garrett says, like looking around, this looks like the only way Ian can pull up. So like, I'll be able to see if he comes. Spencer then goes to the church, opens up the doors, but sees that it's empty and says, hello, as she answers. No response. I was trying to that's like what my notes said. I'm like, okay, you got to spice this up somehow. Like, you got to make this work.
I love it.
The friends are in the woods are all concerned over Garrett being there. And it's like, why did you invite a cop here? Like, he has a gun. And Emily's like, it's okay. He's got a gun.
She called a narc.
Yeah, he's a cop and whatnot. And the other two are not happy about this. Aria asks if Hannah actually left a note. And Hannah's like, yeah, of course. I left a note that says, Dear Mommy, I went to go catch a killer.
Yeah. Love you. Bye.
Spencer tries to ask around for the Reverend, but gets no response in the church. We then cut to a car driving up to the woods where the friends are. The friends go to hide, and Garrett pops out and pulls his gun on the driver. And we see that the man turns around, and that is not Ian.
It looks like it's probably Noel Kahn's stand-in.
It kind of does, yeah. Spencer looks in the church as the front door is slammed shut. She then turns around to see Ian there. Back in the woods, the random guy says he was paid off by someone online to drop off the bag and says his name is Logan Reed. You got to believe me. Hannah looks for the bag and it's full of money. And Aria calls Spencer with the update. Back at the church, Spencer tells Ian that Melissa's in the hospital and we tried to call you. Ian is like, I received all your texts, but I wanted to wait I received all those. I was waiting for you to leave the hospital. Or actually, he says that later. First, he says, I got a weird text from a prepaid phone. Like, I wonder who it could be. And then calls it and it rings in Spencer's pocket.
Why are they not putting this phone on silent?
I know, it's a really dumb move. Why even? Yeah. Ian says it was very clever to ask for money and if her friends are waiting for him. He then tells Spencer that he got all the texts about Melissa, but was waiting for Spencer to leave the hospital. Spencer then threatens him with the videos and throws the USB over to the side and behind him. And then Spencer scrambles to get out, but instead runs upstairs to the bell tower. She tries calling Emily as she runs. And instead, as she goes to a service elevator, she opens it up and Ian's there. The friends are in Emily's car as they answer the phone. They overhear Ian saying he's going to make Spencer's death look like a suicide. We then cut to him attacking Spencer. And he says he never meant to hurt Alison. He hit her on the head and she never woke up. Spencer makes a clear distinction here that says Allie died of suffocation. Ian says, Spencer then says Ian shouldn't do this, and that if he loves Melissa, he shouldn't do this if he loves Melissa. And Ian says, I'm doing it because I love her. He then tries to throw her down the tower, but she grabs onto his leg and onto the side of the walkway. And he's like trying to get her to like get off. Suddenly a mysterious figure in a hoodie appears behind Ian, and Ian asks the hoodie like, hey, what are you doing here? As the figure pushes him over the edge. Spencer scrambles back up onto the landing, but the hooded figure is gone. The friends all arrive and look for Spencer in the church and find her catatonic at the top. They then look down and see Ian's body tangled in the bell tower rope, including with a part of the rope wrapped around his neck. The friends ask if it's okay, say that it's okay what you did, Spencer. You had to do what you had to do. Spencer's like, it wasn't me. It was a person in a black hoodie. The friends then escort Spencer out as the police are there. They then get stopped by an officer that asks, hey, is this some kind of joke? And then says there's nobody in there and ushers them in. They go back in to see that Ian's body is missing from amongst the ropes.
But we saw it.
We 100% saw it.
Just, I want to make sure.
Yeah, the timeline's weird on that because it's like, how long did it take them to walk downstairs to get out of the church for then the police to come in and look? What was the time?
I'm wondering if they came downstairs and then there's they waited out of that area.
Right, maybe in where the pews are.
Yeah, instead of staying up there. I wouldn't stay up there.
No, yeah, why would you? Okay. Byron meets Ella outside the church, and he says he heard Ian died. And they embrace. The friends all come out. Noel appears in the crowd looking at them. Their phones then all go off to a text from A that says, it's not over until I say it is. Sleep tight while you still can, bitches. The end.
Okay. So, let's start. We already did the Jenna Garrett. That was my first thing with the age gap. What's up with that, though? What is that relationship? How long have they been together?
Right. They're I think at least a year.
Okay.
I think this goes back
It's serious.
Exactly. It's hard not to root for them. But I think this goes back to because I don't think she recruited him late to help get the videos. I think he probably knew about the videos way back when.
Got it.
Yeah, when Jenna found out probably. And is like, Garrett, we need to find these videos.
So then who took the videos?
I do think it is Ian.
You think Ian took the videos?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think it was any nefarious purpose. I think we are pivoting fully into him being a full-on weirdo.
Okay.
And also criminal in that sense.
He never got therapy after Smart House, and it's obvious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because of how he gets presented in this episode as
he's bad.
Yeah, but also the confidence is all gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's much more wild and erratic.
It's like the dad in Twin Peaks in the really scary scene that I don't like.
Oh, yeah. In season 2.
Yeah. It gives me stress. Okay. So, and he took you gave us our why. How did Allie get the videos then? Yeah,
I think she found them amongst Ian's stuff and took it. Because Allie just being Allie was probably I'm going to look through your bags. I'm going to look through this. I think she saw it at Hilton Head.
Okay.
And retrieved it and was like, hoo, isn't this juicy? On his laptop or something, and then copied it to a flash drive. Mm-hmm. That's my suspicion.
Okay.
That she was with him and copied it and then took it for herself and then was like, all right, time to enact my plan to terrorize Jenna. And then also
Why
to terrorize
Jenna?
Ian. I think it is their Spencer makes a good point about it, that it is now we finally have something over on Jenna because of the Jenna thing.
And then also, do you think there's any other reason? That's the only reason Allie wanted Jenna to not come back is because if you have each other's Allie has something on Jenna has something on Allie, why can Jenna not come back? Why does Jenna have to stay away as well?
Oh, because there's video evidence of Jenna,
mm-hmm.
and there's no evidence for Allie. Someone has already taken the fall.
Yeah, but I was just wondering why Allie really, really cared about keeping Jenna away if she had the power.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, just like the possibility that now she can't say anything. They don't have to be scared anymore. Because they still, even all the rest of the friends are like, ooh, like, even though Toby took the rap, like, we still feel uneasy about this.
Mm-hmm. And then why did Jenna come back? Because she could?
No, to look for the video.
He's a smart cookie.
That's my thinking.
I like it.
Yeah. Because now that it is gone, she's like, oh, and it. Let's see. Okay, so the video's still there. I'm trying to make the back connection to who would have told Jenna that it would have ended up with one of the friends to get her to come back.
Remember, she assumed, that one of the girls had a key because it was under lock and key, is what Allie told Jenna.
Right. And then does Jenna not come back? And we don't see Jenna until the funeral.
Mm-hmm. That's when she comes back for Allie's funeral.
Got it. Okay, so and then before that she wasn't around.
She was at the school for the blind.
Right.
Or the visually impaired.
Yeah, but even in like the pilot, they aren't like back yet until that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always laugh at their fear of like just being like she's blind.
Totally. But I was just trying to think if I need to think of like, did she have to be informed about like one of the friends having it, or once Allie was finally proven to be dead, did she like, oh, this is probably with one of the friends, rather than like Allie could still be around, running around somewhere with it?
Yeah, I think she, Allie's, when you go to someone's funeral, you assume they're dead.
And also I'm doing the like suspending of disbelief that these are all high school kids and that they probably move where their parents go.
Yes. Well, yeah. Okay. Why didn't Allie tell the girls about the videos?
Because so why didn't she tell the friends?
Not even Emily.
Well,
she gave Emily the key.
Yeah. Because she wanted her own individual power, I would assume.
She didn't want to get them involved either.
Exactly.
Maybe endanger them.
I don't think it was that altruistic. I think because it's from the boy she was seeing, which is also a secret she was keeping from her friends, that like she was still going to be playing that game against him of like, I have the video and that she's like, this is my own private thing. Like, this isn't like for them.
Okay, fair. Let's touch on some of the couples really quick, and then I will go back to the bell tower.
Okay, sounds good.
Why did Ezra not tell Arya about Jackie?
Yeah. That's a pretty
and had her show
big one.
Up at her house. Did he actually think she was still only a TA?
I know. That's curious.
Did he think that he got hired for a teaching role over someone who was already a TA at the school?
Right. But he knew she was in the area regardless. But didn't mention that. And he was going to be moving there potentially.
And Jackie had recently like shared or had up those photos of him.
And he also had it up on his computer.
Well, I think it was just on his feed. I think that was how we were supposed to take that.
Okay. That wasn't like him actually on her page.
No, I think it was like her page. You know how your feed shows up that way? Especially you have to think of like what Facebook looked like in 2010.
Right. Exactly.
We had just had walls.
Exactly. Well, Fitz certainly has some.
Yeah. What do we not know about Ezra Fitz?
I know.
What do you think is like Ezra's deep dark secret? Do you think he has one?
He definitely does.
What do you think it is?
But it can't just be. It'd be really mundane. So the mundane answer would be that like there's a part of him that is still heartbroken over this like relationship falling apart, and so he's not. That being that he's not really fully committed to Arya at the time, and is like keeping that stuff guarded from her unconsciously or consciously. That's the mundane answer. But the Pretty Little Liars answer, I don't quite know. He must have done something or been involved with someone to do it. I don't know enough about him to be able to like pin what that answer would be. But I am just going to pin that he does have something that he like that is like a secret that he's not saying.
I think we get multiple secrets about Ezra that get unveiled. Unveiled.
Unveiled.
I don't know if he eats veal. I know Arya doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Except for in the first episode where she gets a cheeseburger, but that's neither here nor there.
Suspicious. Counted as a deleted scene.
No, it's in the pilot.
I know.
Oh yeah.
As much as a continuity, but yeah, that's. I don't have enough information to be like, this is what the secret is, but I do believe there is a secret that will be revealed.
Do you think
will be revealed?
Do you think they'll get back together soon? Do you think it'll be a long time?
I don't think it'll be a long time.
Or do you think they'll get back together?
I think they will.
And you think they're in game. That's why I'm asking it that way. I
think they will. It'll be in season 2. And it'll be... I'm going to go with 6 episodes. We're going to give a half dozen.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be in the other ones, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to be around. Either. Or at least his presence will be there of like, ugh, I keep getting these texts from Fitz.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he's still their teacher until...
Oh, right. Forgot about that. He's not moving right away. Well, is there any time jump in season 2 in terms of like summer to like...
No, this was all just one semester, quarter.
Oh, okay.
We haven't even gotten to the holidays.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
So this is still... Season 2 picks up immediately.
I mean, maybe it's after the new year because we do get the gravestone that is 2011 and it starts in 2010, I think. Mm-hmm. So I guess we did get the holidays this year. We just didn't get any specials for it. But I don't think I don't remember what part they are in the school year.
Got it.
But I think it's all still the same school year.
Okay.
But they're in high school for a while.
Got it. But I mean, it's not like season 1 ends and then we pick up, say, 3 months later or something.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it's the next day.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
It's the next day.
Yeah.
I know.
So
that
then
one.
I think it will be.
The only major time jump we get is like in the middle of season 6.
Got it.
And it's like drawn out. It's like explained to you.
Right. But it's not like Veronica Mars seasons where it's like this ends of the school year and then it picks up a few months later.
Yeah, we don't miss out on like summers or anything.
Yeah.
I don't think. Because the show aired during the summer usually. So I was,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what I do think is going to happen is back with Noel.
Back with Noel?
Yes.
Even though he's sketch?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's sketch?
No, well, he's gonna like come to Arya and be like, there's this disagreement with like Fitz and all that, blah 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 blah. Yep.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the books, like he's her main love interest.
Interesting.
Because I'm pretty sure in the books, Fallon Fitz gets snatched up real quick.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know that for sure. I haven't read them, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Let's talk about Spoby.
Yes.
Just some cute moments.
It's
a little happy moment.
The most heart on your sleeve couple. The most like, you come to Spoby for the big emotions.
You come to Spoby because it feels good.
Yes, because these two people that are just so, it's passion. Mm-hmm. You get passion from Spoby.
You get passion. And there's some people that believe that they don't have good chemistry. Those people don't know what love is.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge you.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror. If that's you.
If you're singing, I want to know what love is, I want you to show me. Well, here's a highlight reel of Spoby.
Everybody reads a little.
After one season, this is a bold claim for me to make.
No, I like this. Please commit to it.
Season 1 fan cam, Spoby.
You got to write it out, though, baby. You got to write it out. You may not change your mind now. But
at least in this season, it's they've got great chemistry, and like I said, they're extremely passionate. It is like, I'm there. It's like big proclamations, like over like mundane lines, like I'm there for you. And it's like, I love that you're there for me. Like that stuff. So it's really like,
I think both of their love languages are words of affirmation.
Yeah. It's the most like what in my mind's eye would think of like daytime soap, like passionate relationship would be is like what theirs is.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it is for sure. Like I like it. But that's exactly how it reads to me is the most soap opera-ish of all of them. And that's not that I don't mean that as a bad thing at all. That's just like a type of like melodrama.
Yeah. No, I love it. Will Emily have to move to Texas?
No.
Okay.
Calling it right now.
Is Wayne alive?
He was the one who died. Maybe that's why I was excited. I was like, we finally found out. Wayne.
But he was in Texas.
Yeah, right. Did he get to Texas? But they're not going to move.
Are you killing Wayne?
No.
Are you calling?
I would never do that to my
Are you calling a
Wayne.
death of Wayne right here, right now?
I think there will be a parental death in the future, and it might be Wayne because it's like he's like a small time character, and like Pam being emotionally devastated is very ripe for it's ripe for content. Pretty much. But I mean, like that's a big thing that you could totally do. Of like Emily now has to be like.
You don't think it'd be Byron?
Now I have to. What? It could be.
Wouldn't it be fun to kill Byron?
It would be fun to kill Byron. Although, like we watched the featurette of like the behind the scenes on the DVD, and he seems like a very nice guy.
No. Yeah,
he does a good job.
I think people like really enjoyed being around and working with him. I think he's just a terrifying character, and like that's why it'd be fun to kill Byron. I don't want to kill the actor.
No, but I talk a lot of shit on Byron, but. And same with Pam. The actress who played Pam.
She seems amazing, but the character.
Yeah. Speaking of the books, it was great in that featurette too. She's like, yeah, they said like my character was completely different than the book, so they just said don't read them.
Yes.
She's like, so I'm not gonna read. I didn't read them.
We watched the behind the scenes on the DVDs that I have that were colored in like the yellow color of 2010 television, and it was fun to watch all the little old like 2010, 2011 interviews. It's very cute.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the coloring too. Like there definitely was that type of like coloration on
everything
the DVDs.
was sepia almost.
Yeah. But the one DVD the two DVDs I remember the most having a very specific color. One, The Matrix was very green. But then the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring was also really green. And I think they've changed that over the years. We need to check on our Blu-rays. I just remember being like incredibly green. That's like the picture I have in my head. But I mean, when we watched it recently, like last year, like over streaming, and it was like, oh, yeah, this isn't my Fellowship.
This isn't kind of gritty and grainy. Will we ever see Samara again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was seeded in the emails there, and Emily was very smitten with Samara.
I mean, it's an older girl.
Yeah. And I mean, Emily was flabbergasted when she walked in and this like blonde girl was calling for her.
Who isn't? Hannah, Caleb, Lucas. Just real quick thoughts.
Okay. It's a very nice thing for Lucas to do. And I'm very glad that someone is driving Caleb back to
from Arizona.
Relationship. Yes, exactly. It seems to me like I would be a little freaked out if like a strong acquaintance of mine went and did this for me. Like, I don't feel like Lucas is a close enough friend of Hannah's to go do this.
I think Hannah wants him to be a close friend. He just wants to be more than a close friend.
But even before then, do you think they were close enough for that? Even before the split?
I think that
maybe they just didn't get enough scenes with them.
In the sense of like they watched what was it, a chicken ride a snowboard?
Snowboard, yeah.
I mean, what else do you need to be a close friend?
It's the E-Bombs World Barometer. Did you watch The End of the World together? The close friend.
But yeah, I always thought it was kind of funny and kind of weird.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Do you think Lucas has any nefarious reasons for doing this?
I know. That's what I was like wondering. I'm like, oh, is he like... it's gonna say so
do you think he's just getting revenge on Mona?
Caleb found dead. No. Just kidding.
Does Caleb die?
No.
Okay. Never?
Never say never. But not in the next season. But I think Lucas was confronted with Mona being a bad friend for reasons that she felt was right.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he's like, oh, I don't want to be like that. So I think you are right in being like, it is because of Mona. It's not like, but it's like, I don't want to be like you, Mona.
Speaking of Mona, why did Mona get rid of Caleb?
Yeah, because she's like, we drew a line in the sand that we were done with this guy. This guy is bad for you. And I know that was when she's like feeling it out with the note. She does feel a little bad about not giving it to her, but she's like, oh, if I had given you the note, you would have folded. So no, I have an opportunity to cut this man out. I'm cutting him out.
So...
You go to Flagstaff. Scat.
You go back to where you came from.
Exactly.
Arizona.
We're gonna find her a rich boy.
Love it.
Which I was so glad that someone at least says it out loud, of like the bias against Caleb. That was like, oh, you dated your first poor boy. How romantic. It's like, yes, that is exactly why people didn't like Caleb.
Yep. Who pushed Ian off the bell tower?
Oh yeah, my money's on Jason. So then, which takes Jason out of the running to be A, because I don't think it was A.
Is Ian dead?
So I think there's a new. Oh no, I don't think he's dead. Now that he got moved out of there, which is, I don't want to get too into like what's called like TV tropes or like cinema sins, where it's like, we're going to take this thing super literally and be like, well, this doesn't have logical consistency to it in the real world. But like, even though Ian was hanging there with his neck tied in a rope for like a good solid, like probably 10 minutes.
But the rest of his body was supported by the other ropes,
right,
I guess.
That's true. Yeah. But so I don't want to get like too into that. So I don't think we need to take that as literal and just be like, yeah, he's alive.
Okay. Because he moved, he's gone?
Yes. He was moved by someone. But who? I'm going to say A.
So you think A saved or rescued Ian?
Yes.
And he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
But that Jason pushed him.
I think Jason pushed him.
Okay.
Because I think the hoodie is different than A.
So the hoodie's Jason.
Yes.
Do you think that's the same black hoodie that took Ezra's key? Do you think Jason then?
I don't think he took Ezra's key. I think that was Noel. I think I mentioned that last episode, and I'm sticking with it, of revenge against the Fitz.
Is Noel a red herring in the crowd?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I mentioned to you at the end of the episode, I'm like, oh, are we like now supposed to think like Noel's A? Because like, I don't think that's true.
I was like, maybe. That didn't occur to me. Rush was like, oh, he's back.
Yeah.
I like his eyes.
So so I'm going to save it till Theory Corner. Something finally clicked in my head because there was one new idea that had floated around in the periphery for A, and then something locked into place just now. So
okay, well, we just have a few more questions on this.
Perfect.
Who hit Spencer and Melissa in the car? Was it just a total accident?
I think it was a total accident.
Okay.
I don't think this was this wasn't the hit job that Hannah went through.
Will the baby be okay?
I think the baby's not going to make it.
You look so sad. And I know it's a fictional baby.
I know, but like talking about baby,
it's such a dark plot.
It is. I don't think the baby's gonna make it.
Okay. Do you think anyone will believe the girls that Ian was there?
Oh no.
Okay.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I mean, there is gonna be like some. I think like their parents will be like skeptical, and I think like certain of their parents will. Okay, Ashley will believe Hannah. Mrs. Hastings will be like, whatever you say, honey.
Or maybe he was there, but he wasn't. He must have gotten. Maybe he pushed you, but he obviously could walk away.
Right. Exactly.
Ian, I assume. Do you think he's just going to show up the next day?
No.
Okay.
He's now on the run, and it's like.
So because of that, do you think that will lead the parents to think that he at least was there?
I got confused. I don't think people are going to believe the Black Hood was in the tower. I think they're going to believe Ian was in the tower because he disappears. Mm-hmm. So they are going to believe that happened, but I think they're all going to be like, Spencer, like.
Maybe he fell and he walked away.
Right. Or like, Spencer, you don't need to make up a new person that pushed him. Like, you were in self-defense. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, I got confused there. So to clarify my point, no one is going to believe them about Spencer about the hooded figure,
Do you think
but they
she's
are
going
going
to
to believe about Ian.
Tell them about the hooded figure?
She already tried to tell the friends, and I think she is going to tell other people. And the friends were like, no, it's okay.
That's what I'm wondering. Do you think she'll tell the police that story then, or do you think she'll lie?
I think she will.
Okay. Because she has self-defense.
Yeah, and I think she already did.
Okay.
But yes, I think they'll believe Ian will be, and it'll be like, wow, that's so strange that like Ian would do that. And Melissa's going to be like, that's not the Ian I know. He must have done something for a good reason and still have his back.
Mm-hmm. 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 Noel, he's back.
I know. I was like, haha, the red herring. My favorite person to point to.
You love
now
Noel.
Back on screen. He's just become a concept as a point for me to point to ever since his like dark turn.
Really, ever since his house party when you couldn't remember his name, and I was like, "You need to remember this name. He is important." And you're like, "He's not."
No, like, he's not going to be around. Whoops.
If you did, would you have thought that Noel would be here and Maya wouldn't in the season finale?
No, definitely not. Yeah, egg on my face for everything to do with Emily's love life. Paige is in here. Maya's in here. So big time misses.
You know what? You're swinging though.
Yeah. So yeah, very funny that Noel's back, and it's very much a reminder to the audience, like, hey, remember him? Like he's gonna have something to do with next season. So I think he is back on some kind of revenge trip against Fitz, particularly, but I don't think he's connected to he's not like A. He could be connected to wider things, but he's not.
Like how you suspect Jenna.
Yes, exactly. He's like driven by a specific purpose, like Jenna is.
Okay. Those are all my main questions.
Okay.
So now we need to figure out who's A.
Step into my office. Okay, so we know who that. Well.
Or do you want to do what happened the night Allie died first? Is that going to help you figure out who A is?
No.
No. Okay. Perfect.
It has nothing to do with that.
You know what? I'm going to let you know right now. Probably. Yeah. Like it's the correlation and the causation are both weak.
Because what I think that's going to reveal later now is that it's going to be a different theory of how Alison supposedly died, because I think Alison's still alive. Because of the discrepancy between Spencer saying Allie was suffocated and Ian's like, I hit her on the head and she didn't wake up. So I think that's how that's going to go. So, but a theory, so now that Jason is the Black Hood, or Black Hoodie.
I mean,
I want to call him the Black Hood, but I mean,
Black Hood.
But we watched Riverdale, so I can't do that. The hooded figure, we'll call him Black Hoodie. That is Jason. Because my connection to that too is, one, I think he's out to get justice, and also Ian recognizes him and they used to party together, and he goes, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, whoever it is, Ian knows them.
Exactly. So that's my money on Jason at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
A. New theory.
Oh no.
Which again is suspending a little bit of disbelief here.
Okay.
That because we do get a glimpse. I'm really this one's out there. It's Melissa. And you gotta do some jump, because it looks like when Spencer leaves the hospital that Melissa kind of is awake to like notice that she leaves. So was Melissa able to get up and leave the hospital and get Ian down from the ropes? So that's the only person that I could think is possibly in Ian's corner to get him down. And that we don't know her motivations yet, but it would explain why she has some weird reasons about doing things that she does.
So Melissa could be A.
Exactly. It just explains some of that, even if we don't have a concrete theory of why yet.
That's a popular fan theory at this time.
Oh, okay.
And I think as we go into season 2.
I have good company.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my theory there. Alison still being alive is another one.
That's another really popular fan theory, because there was the book series had a twin twist thing,
Mm-hmm. And then also that would also explain she could be getting Ian down to be like, I saved you and now you owe me. And Fitz still in the mix. That could be the dark secret of whatever he's hiding. He could have been interested in younger girls before, and it was connected to Allie in the past. We're going back to the original theory of mine. It's still hanging around.
So then Fitz would have been the one who took Ian off the ropes? Because Jason still would have been the one who pushed.
Yeah. I think so.
If it had been Arya, would you think Fitz had saved Arya?
Wait, sorry, which one?
So, like, if it had been Arya instead of Spencer, would you have thought it was someone different who?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Did that push Ian?
Yeah.
No, because
I just didn't know if you thought like Fitz would like,
Well, yeah, but then we would have gotten a face reveal of like, Arya, are you okay? I don't think he would have like hit it.
Do you think Fitz knows about what happened at the church?
Oh,
he wasn't there.
Like already?
Yeah, like
no, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. But Noel
unless he is a.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If so, he's like, yes, bitches. I mean, he could be ghostwriting. I was like, wait a minute. This is actually a pretty good theory.
He's a writer.
Well, only time will tell.
Exactly. All right. Well, so since the night that Allie died is a important plot point, we will go into my beautifully created presentation. Oh, wait, nope. We gotta switch.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. Infinity.
Oh no, I hate it.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to OBS, everybody. Okay. So
you'll have to read it for those that aren't yes. visually participating in what is Chaos Corner.
Yes. So we'll be going from left to right.
You pulled photos of all of them. I love it. You did so good.
Thank you very much. So starting on the left, so I'll be reading left to right, and it's an arrow going to the right, progressing the time of day. I have two different slides. So in the far left, we have this is actually the day before. This is a new one that I had to add, and I needed to change that. I put
the header.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't correctly write timeline of the day because it should be day before.
Okay.
Is Alison visits Jenna at the hospital and threatens her with the video.
Okay.
So then the next day, right? Because she said it was the day before she got back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had mistaken when I was putting it together this morning that it was on the same day, but it is not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next day, Alison arrives back in Rosewood via taxi. Spencer notices the luggage tags for Hilton Head. That's where we get the Hilton Head theory for meeting Ian there.
It's a very formal photo of Spencer.
Yes, it is. I was trying to find like the first with the images that I didn't have to search the most, so I didn't get spoiled on anything, and that were the most like cropped around like their heads. Yeah. So it wasn't like too busy.
That's so funny.
Then after that, Alison gives Emily the snow globe with the key.
Mm-hmm.
After that, so we don't see this happen, so this is just me filling in. Is Spencer, Emily, and Hannah arrive at Spencer's house for the sleepover and get to the barn? Because we know then in the pilot, Arya arrives for the sleepover and they're all like waiting for her.
Mm.
And then Alison arrives at the barn and scares all the friends.
Mm-hmm.
After that is when Alison and Spencer fight inside Spencer's house about Alison telling Melissa about Ian.
Do we know that that's... I guess we do because the girls hadn't seen Alison yet. That's why she was able to scare them.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about upper left?
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't know if those could be flipped or not.
They could be flipped.
Okay.
That's as far as I know.
Okay.
This is my assumption.
I'm not sure either way. I was just...
No, it's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
This is all fungible.
Okay.
These are all events. This is the timeline I placed them on.
Okay. Your proposed timeline, if you will.
Exactly, yeah. With a lot less red string. So then, Toby sees Alison get in a car with a boy. Unconfirmed who the boy is, probably Ian, and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next is when Arya wakes up to see that Alison's missing in the barn. She then goes to walk outside the barn to look for her, to which Spencer then arrives back at the barn, telling her that she's missing from the pilot. We then get, at the very end of the timeline, when Alison is then gone missing or supposedly dead, is that she meets with Ian and they filmed the "I Know You Want to Kiss Me" video.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Is all our timeline. This will be filled in more as we get more
details.
Events. Yeah, but that's the starting point for now.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
This will be very helpful for you as we go, because there's going to be so many things that happen in this timeline that you're like, there was no possible way this happened in one evening.
I was really happy that I didn't have to like really mess with like font or like size of font and like number of things on the timeline too much. I'm like, oh, I could split this across evenly over like 2 slides. This is just like 5 things or 10 things. I'm like, this is going to get crazy, but yeah. So that's that.
Cool. I love it.
So keep that fresh, everybody.
We'll keep it in mind. We'll maintain your theories.
Thank you very much.
So I thought maybe we could wrap it up with a couple of our favorites.
Perfect.
What's your favorite episode from season 1?
Probably Camp Mona. That was like when we had like the most steam and there's excitement happening and there's like a big threat and they're like all like going around trying to scramble. They don't know what's going to happen. And like Hannah's on the out with Mona. She can't go to Camp Mona. And then like Noel finds out about Fitz and Arya. Almost said Fitz and Ezra. Mr. Fitz and Ezra.
Maybe that's what he needs to tell you. Exactly. Maybe he's not who you think he is.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And
isn't that a fun metaphor?
And then we get all that, and then that culminates with Hannah getting hit by the car. It's just like the most like
it's a mid-season finale. It's just you're just like
it's just going. That like even more so than this season finale episode, that is like pedal to the metal.
Yes. So basically, mid-season finales on this show, I think, have more happening in them than season finales.
Yeah, because I mean, for this, like, you do get reveals around like Ian and stuff, but then you get kind of like the falling action of like Spencer being in peril and things like that, and like the falling action isn't as fun to me. It's like the building of the climax, like, oh no, what's gonna happen, like and like more things and like slow drip reveals where it's like, oh no, we need to contact this person, and wait, Hannah knows who it is but she didn't say who she saw. Yeah,
I think the season 2 finale will really fulfill you.
Oh, perfect.
I'm excited for that one. I liked Camp Mona, and I really liked the one where Spoby has their spy sleepover.
Yeah,
because I just love that
really
scene.
Good one.
The horny episode, as we called it.
Yeah,
but it was just a very cute scene.
It is.
Just love it.
They play Scrabble, and then Spencer sleeps on top of the covers.
Well, he sleeps on top of the covers.
He sleeps on top of the covers too. I forgot, because he's just lying on his back with his abs face up.
Yeah, you don't put those away.
Toby is a back sleeper. What's the actor's name again?
Keegan Allen?
Yeah, Keegan Allen. It's like, no, Keegan, you're doing it wrong. He doesn't sleep on his stomach. He sleeps on his back.
And he flexes.
Right, exactly. Tense at all times. He's ready to go.
The boy always has abs, it seems.
But it's a really good episode. I do really like that episode too.
It's
very cathartic for all our characters.
Who's your favorite couple? Spoby. Easy.
As you were kind of drafting these last night, maybe I'll try and remember. This will be my verbal note to splice it in. Is this Smash Brothers sound of voiceover of just no contest?
Yeah, you just really. Who's your favorite menace?
Mona.
Even now that you have this new Melissa concept?
Yes.
Okay. I love Mona too.
I know.
She's so low impact.
She is. Low impact, high reward. Wait, but yours is also Spoby?
Yeah, of course
okay,
it is.
Good.
I brought you to Spoby.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that you had a chance to answer. But yeah, Mona is she's not connected into any wider conspiracies. She's just like she's just a wild card. So it's a good time.
Yes. Who's your favorite parent? Mine's Ashley.
Agreed.
I mean, I think Ella's probably the best parent. Like if you were ranking them on actual parental skills.
Right. But Ella just gets trapped in constantly being second fiddle to Byron in their own story. Because he gets more screen time like and stuff around the family. And Ella's always just like,
we always reward men for being duds.
Yeah. And Ella is always just, well, your father. So yeah. But she like, yeah, again, the best parent. And also that behind the scenes feature at the actress was like, yeah, it'd be fun if like A was
with Ezra.
Yeah.
all of the behind the scenes clips and podcasts and things I've seen over the many years since the show came out, it seems like she lovingly bullied Ian Harding relentlessly.
It's fantastic.
And I love that. I think that's great.
And then so Ashley for sure, because Ashley also has a lot of drama going on.
Yeah, Ashley's a busy lady.
Yeah. But she's also like really like, she learns to support her daughter, but then at the same time is also wrapped up in the most ludicrous things possible.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's a very rewarding character to watch. God, do you remember when Wilden was the thing? Like Jesus, from day one.
Ashley is drama.
Yeah. Well,
who's the worst parent? Mine's a toss up between Pam and Byron.
It really is, like, because it's like my gut went with Byron, and then we were kind of talking it through, and it's just like, well, Pam
invented homophobia.
Exactly.
That's what I think it was on Mike's recap. He's like, Pam invented homophobia, and I was like, well.
And it's also really emotionally manipulative, and it's about like. It's
more subtle.
It is, and it's just like doesn't, even when she's like, I want to be supportive of you, it's still, I don't understand you. And there's no like, but I want to understand it. It's just like, I'm your mom, which is awful. And she's very like possessive and like watches over her a lot.
Do you think she thinks moving Emily to Texas will make her not gay?
Yeah, I guess. I think there's a part of her that does, because even when Emily was coming out, it was like, oh, what are these people putting in your head? Because that's not my picture of you, which is awful. But then going back to Byron,
he did ask his child to lie
for years, and then also has made his wife move out of the house. Won't talk to his son about what is happening with their relationship, and is pretty much holding his family hostage, and is not being supportive to Ella in any way. It is just like talks down to her all the time of just like, well, it's just a mixer. Why aren't you over this? So let's see. I think as a parent, Pam is worse.
But as a person,
Byron. Yeah.
Who's your favorite side character? Mine's Maya. I love Maya. I think Maya's fun.
Maya is really fun. Okay. Okay. I mean, mine would probably be Ashley. Ashley, for aforementioned reasons, and these end of the season, it's only seeing her in a good light of just like, oh, I understand with Caleb, and then you get all the drama, and then you also get like all the.
She's trying.
Exactly, of being a good person. So Ashley, I'm trying to think if there anybody else that I'm like really missing that I like talked up on the table.
Noel. I know you love Noel.
That's just a concept. It's fun to point at Noel.
It was Noel.
Yeah, Mona would be up there too. As just this agent of chaos that doesn't have a clue.
Do you think Noel was involved the night Allie died?
No.
Do you think? Who else do you think is involved on the night Allie died? Anyone? Or do you think we have all our main players?
No, there's got to be other people. I think Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah, as with my new thing.
Anyone else?
The night Allie died. Yeah, there's got to be Garrett. Is somehow involved. I think that's it for now.
No Jason?
No Jason.
Okay. Jason
finds out things about people, and then Allie dies / disappeared, and is like, wait, what the fuck?
Okay. And then if you had to pick one person to be A right now, which one would you pick out of your theories?
Oh, it's hard. Do a good job obfuscating it. We'll put money on the table on Melissa. We're riding on this one.
Okay, Melissa.
Yeah.
And then who were you certain on who got the key at Ezra's door? Do you think that's Noel?
I think that's Noel.
Okay.
That's my theory for the same reason of like I'm gonna get revenge on Fitz. Well, Mr. Fitz.
New Fitz.
Yeah. Oh, he teaches Spanish.
I don't know. We don't know anything about him.
We don't.
Except that he was engaged to a woman named Jackie, and now she's in Arya's kitchen.
Interesting.
Any final thoughts about season 1 of Pretty Little Liars?
As a whole, I think it was like I think it's pretty good. That like first, I think it took 6 episodes.
It was until you got to Homecoming.
Yeah. For it to like actually take off, and then it's fun. It is the most straightforward soap opera I've probably watched, but I was having a really good time with it. And like I think it could be like wildly inconsistent already with like keeping track of like some of these plot lines and things. But it kind of like doesn't really matter, so you kind of just kind of going along for the ride of just like, oh, but now we're focusing on this week. So like it's hard sometimes to like pull back and remember like some of the plot lines that are going through. And even for its like more like teen sensibilities, because it's very much even trying to be less than like the outrageousness of like a CW show, or what I would think of like a CW show. It's still got like some edge there.
When you have to think there weren't like sexy teen shows at this time. Gossip Girl was like the only.
That's not true. Like One Tree Hill had been on during this time. Like CW was still like moving. So I think like it just
I guess because I didn't watch One Tree Hill, I don't remember that it exists.
Yeah, it just wasn't like Dawson's Creek had already happened at this time too. Like I think it maybe just wasn't like the same popularity, I guess. But like they were still.
And I guess was the OC on yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was
OC.
that sexy? I didn't watch any of those.
Yeah.
I watched Laguna Beach because that was real.
But I don't think it was. Yeah, I think those were much more. Here are teens living lives, where like Pretty Little Liars is like, well, here's a murder thrown on top of it. Yeah. So it's like the marrying of the more like teen emotional drama, getting through life, and like having big loves.
That's what made it good, was the fact that you came for the mystery and you stayed for the characters on Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I need to know what happened, but also like I really am just like attached to these girls.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's funny too, the like seeing the very like certain like aspects of like the suburban kind of conservatism of like it's very aimed that way. So like in some of the dress and in some of the ways they like handle things is very like that suburban way. So it's pretty funny to see.
They're making a very specific point with that, I think. Like it's like, this is what a normal American life is. Yeah. But then it's also like, oh yeah, there's a murder.
Right.
Yes, love that. So end of season 1, give me your rankings of your favorite liars.
Oh. Hannah, Spencer, Aria, Emily.
Right, accept.
No. Yeah, Emily. Again, like not like
it's not her fault, it's her plot.
Yeah, she's still like trying to like eke out more of an identity, which I think is good, but she just doesn't give much to like sink into other than like relationships that she's going through. She's not playing like an active role much in anything else.
Yeah,
she's kind of just like doing her own thing with like seeing people.
Swimming.
Yeah,
she does the swimming.
She does.
Okay, and then any final other thoughts about season 1?
No, I think that's kind of it for me.
Do we want to watch the trailer for season 2?
I would love to.
Okay, you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, get it up over here. Get a nice full screen. It's also a nice 4:3.
Okay, yeah,
cool.
And then you'll have to pause it after, like, I think it's like only like 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right.
Tuesday, June 14th, Pretty Little Liars is back.
Any one of these people could be a...
Watch our marathon event. Then, it's the summer premiere everyone's waiting for.
We have so much to lose.
There's like too much stuff happening.
Up.
Zombies don't text.
And all eyes are on the liars.
If I'm lying,
were they all in the cop car?
I don't know, were they?
Begin with the summer premiere of Pretty Little Liars.
I don't know, you don't want to live the life like I did, where you had to wait for it to come back on the TV in like 3 hours.
I just like zombies don't text. Yes, they're all in the cop car.
Is Garrett the cop?
Where is he?
Oh, okay, wait. I'm doing a very like frame by frame analysis here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally Garrett.
Is Emily too?
Get out of the cop car.
Liars.
I'm lying.
I mean, you know, that's
Where
not
is
much to
he?
go on, but
All new Tuesdays begin
Who
with
got
the summer
attacked?
premiere of Pretty
know.
Little Liars.
I
Tuesday,
love
June
those
14th,
like
only on ABC
interstitials for like
Family.
TV.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's good
And then
stuff.
there's ones for each episode after this on this video. So, later we can.
Oh, okay, come back. Wait, is this one number 1? Do we know?
I think it'd be for the next episode.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It'd be
Do you think
after
it would
season 1.
Say in the just says
Mhm.
season 2. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's all right. We'll save. We'll save them. God knows what I do. Like Arya fighting the doormat. And Hannah getting an SOS text
Mm-hmm.
from someone who's dead.
Zombies don't text.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was Ian?
I'm wondering if the SOS text and the zombies don't text are not the same.
Connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You're telling me someone's gonna be in trouble and have to text SOS?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I guess we'll find out. I mean, it'll be one of the liars.
Yeah, but I just meant which one.
Oh. You know, given the track record, Spencer.
It's always Spencer.
That's always going to be Spencer. She's going to be like I said, she just follows it.
Oh, I love it.
The trap is set, and Spencer's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Good
well,
season 1.
It's good season 1. And we'll go right into season 2 next week.
That's right.
You don't have to wait, unlike the rest of us.
No, not at all.
Well, when I'm not here, sometimes I'm sitting in the other side of this room and I do life and career coaching. I help people figure out what they want to do, how they want to do it. I also post content on the internet. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I have a website. It's butreallythough.com. Though is spelled THO, and it links to all of my social meds.
That's right.
Social meds.
Social meds.
Social meds.
You can
I'm
find
elderly.
That, yeah, you can find that link tree in the description of this episode and also on any of our pages, like on YouTube at Dead Ends or on any of your podcast platform of choice at Dead Ends. I also started us a new inbox. If you have questions for us about the show, send them in. That is at deadendspcast@gmail.com. So deadendspcast@gmail.com. Dead Ends PCast, because there's already a Dead Ends podcast.
And if you have trouble finding us on YouTube, I highly recommend typing in Dead Ends Pretty Little Liars, and then we come right up to the top, because other people with this name for a show aren't talking about Pretty Little Liars. And it's odd to me, but whatever.
Can't imagine why. But
Weird flex, but okay.
If we appreciate any shares, likes, comments,
subscribes,
because we appreciate any help. We are a small podcast.
Mm-hmm. And if you send any questions about the show or like spoilers and you don't want Brenton to read the email, just be sure to put spoiler or something in the subject line so that then I read the email.
Yeah, please try not to send any spoilers, and then if you do, spoilers.
Yeah. Or if you have like a question you want me to ask Brenton, whatever, and you're like, this might spoil, just make sure you put it bold in the subject line so that way Brenton doesn't read it. Brenton, unlike me, has self-control, so he would not read that email.
Exactly.
I, on the other hand, would start Googling.
So just try and keep any questions to current or spoiler tag it. And then the current does to like
where we are
in the podcast.
Yeah. Not where we are in time, because the show's been over for about 5 years now.
Exactly. And then you can also find my link tree on the same spots, and that's where you'll find my other YouTube channel, Burger Discourse, where we do Let's Plays. Going through Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories at the moment. And my blog, burgerdiscourse.com, for whenever I finally get back and write another blog.
Yeah. Life's hard and we're tired.
That is true.
All right.
But even though we're tired, we are still here. We're going to find out everything.
And we'll sleep while we can.
In our chair, in the sun, cuddling.
With Toby.
With Toby, yes. Night, night.